Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a soft, romantic, and flirty Valentine's Day makeup tutorial. Last year I did a couple of looks that were a little bit more dramatic, a little bit more glam, and for today's look I decided to do something that was a little bit easier for beginners. I do more of an individual lash look as opposed to a false lash, so that's something that you're more comfortable with. That is something that you can try. I did more of a nude lip and a very simple, basic face routine that is a little bit more wearable and also a little bit more natural. If you are not having too many crazy plans for Valentine's Day, this is a nice look to just put on that is going to emphasize your natural beauty. So if you would like to see how I achieved this look, then please keep on watching. Today I kind of haphazardly curled my hair. Also today I am wearing my boyfriend's sweater in typical Jess Morphe fashion, and I'm also wearing the necklace that he got me that also matches the rings that he got me. It's Littman Jewelers. Also, I didn't really have any earrings to pair, but I am wearing little heart-shaped earrings today. Yep, that's my look for today, and without further ado, let's get into the tutorial. So because this look is very much based on like skin glowing and skin radiance, we're going to prep the skin first. For that, I'm using my Pixi Hydrating Milky Serum. I'm like so happy to be using this. I filmed a video right before this and wiped everything off, and for whatever reason my skin just felt so dry after I did that. Being careful to avoid my eyebrows because I already did them. I don't know guys, I've really been liking doing my brows before everything else. I feel like there's definitely a learning curve to it, and because I've done it for a couple of videos now, I've kind of gotten the hang of it, and it's kind of easy to avoid hitting them when you're doing your makeup, and I didn't realize that at first, but I think I just got a little bit better and more precise with my applications, so it's been a lot better for me. To top that off, I'm using the Pixi H2O Skin Drink, and that already adds like such a nice glow from within, and it feels so soothing on the skin as well. It's nice and cooling. And just to top everything off, I'm taking my Olay Eyes Ultimate Eye Cream, and I'm just going to put that right underneath my eyes. And while all those products sink into the skin, we're going to go on to the eye makeup. I'm just going to go right ahead and prime my eyes. I'm going to take the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and this is the shade Chantilly. I wanted a little bit more brightness to the eye, and I also want my eyes to look a little bit more rounded and more romantic and flirty, so the lighter concealer helps with making the eyes look a little bit larger. I'm just going to set that with a translucent powder. For the eyeshadow palette today, I am going to be using the Tartist Pro palette. It is the big one with all of these different kind of neutral, cool toned. Now, I didn't want to use this because I know that it's really not that popular of a palette and not many people have it, and I've also used it for my last year's Valentine's Day tutorials. Also, I'm just going to be using this one as opposed to, you know, using other palettes. I decided that this would be really easy because it's just one palette, but I will list some dupes for some of the colors that I'm using if you don't have this palette or you have some of the other ones that I have and you want to use those, and you'll probably achieve the same look. But as long as you follow with the undertones of these eyeshadows, I think that you are going to achieve the same exact looks. I'm going to only be using 3 eyeshadow brushes today, and for my crease colors I'm using the Morphe M573. It's really fluffy and dome shaped, and since I want more of a rounded appearance to my eyeshadow look to enhance the shape of my eye, this is really good for making a nice circular shape with the shadows in your crease. I'm going to take the colors Chic and No Filter, and I'm just going to run those through the crease, the inner corner and the outer corner, and create that nice circular shape. So we have our base shadow down for enhancing the crease to kind of round everything out. I'm going to be taking my Morphe M433, and this is a nice flat blending brush that kind of tapers and thins out. I'm going to take this with the color Drama and kind of pack that right on the outer corner and then softly blend it into the crease. Kind of want that like angular V shape to it to kind of make the eye a little bit more flirty. So now with the same brush, I'm going to pick up the shade Mod, which is a nice reddish pink color, and then I'm just taking it on the tip of the brush and kind of fanning it into the crease. It kind of warms everything up because these colors are very cool toned, and I think a nice pink red really helps to make the look a little bit more romantic. Finally, one more time with this brush, taking the kind of cleaner side, I'm going to take Vamp, and we're just going to run that right along the lash line, kind of focusing on the outer corner, just to give that lifted look. So now with a flat brush, which is going to be the last brush that I'm going to use, this is from Sony Kashuk. It's nice and flat, but it also has a little bit of give to it. I'm going to take the shade Vintage. This is a nice matte white shadow, and I'm just going to place this on the lid. And then with the same brush, I'm picking up Classic, which is more of like a vanilla white. I'm going to place that matte color right underneath the brow bone to enhance the brow bone. So now that the eyeshadow is done, I'm going to just go ahead and curl my lashes, and I'm really curling them like heavily, going in even a second time. And then before I go off to the other side, I quickly take my Voluminous Lash Paradise mascara from L'Oreal, and this one is waterproof. And I quickly coat that through the lashes because, like I always say, waterproof mascara holds the curl of your lashes a lot better because it dries down quickly. So it's going to hold whatever curl you put in them. I always like to make sure that I curl my lashes extra big so that the waterproof mascara can hold it, and this is going to help make your lashes look a little bit more full. So if you're a little bit less comfortable putting on either a false lash or individual lashes, you can stop right here, but if you guys want to learn a little bit about how to do a nice individual lash application, then I'm going to go ahead and show you. It is a little bit time consuming, but I will show you guys how I apply them. I'm going to be taking the Ardell Knot Free Mega Flare Short Blacks and also a couple of the long ones. I take a little bit of my lash glue and I kind of apply it to one of these little end stops right here. I can have a little bit of a space to dip my lashes in, kind of like put it on here so I could let it dry a little bit and get tacky, and then I take my lashes and I dip that in there and then I apply it. Some little lashes and applying them to my eye. And these are just a simple pair of tweezers as well. You can get them at any drugstore. Just have my lash right here, and then I'm dipping into the glue that I have on the side here, and I'm getting it pretty saturated, and then just gonna stick it and just going to place it down. For whatever reason, my tweezers get really sticky very quickly, so it kind of like just takes the lash and runs with it. So I am going to be applying my lashes with my fingers mostly. It's important when you put them on to like not touch them, to make sure that they stick wherever they are, because if you play with it too much, like they could just fall right off. It does take a long time, but I don't necessarily think that it's not worth it because you get such a pretty, gorgeous look when you do it with individual false lashes. Okay, so I have about 4 on each side of the short ones, and I think I'm going to do, maybe either 2 or 3 of the long ones. Okay, these lashes look so crazy, but they look so cute and like really flirty and romantic too at the same time, so I'm not mad about it. Now we're going to move on to the face. The most important step to getting that nice radiant glowiness is definitely to prime the face. For that I am using the NYX Hydra Touch, my favorite hydrating primer. Hydrating, and it kind of just melts into the skin and adds a nice radiance without it looking too glittery. Nice sheen to the skin. This actually like helps to moisturize and bring out your natural glow. And just to kind of shrink pores and fine lines and whatnot, I am using the NYX Angel Veil, and I'm just going to be putting that on the center of my face. It's just going to add a veil literally over your pores and your fine lines. just to conceal any darkness, I'm going to be taking the L'Oreal True Match Concealer and it's going to apply that right underneath the eyes right here. Because the makeup is kind of more cool toned, I want to make sure that we cancel out all of those cool tones. So to blend this out, I'm using the Crown C517 brush and kind of just buffing that right here. So now that we have that concealer on, I am going to kind of mist over the face a little bit with my Smashbox Photo Finish Primer Water. So before foundation, I'm actually going to be applying my cream contour. And this is a tip that makeup artists use to kind of create more of a natural contour to the face, and this makes the makeup look a little bit more natural. And because we are going for that natural radiant look, I wanted to do cream contour, but I wanted to do it in a way where it wasn't going to be too harsh and look too glam. I'm going to be putting it underneath my foundation, and for that I am using the Tarte Clay Stick Foundation in the shade Deep Honey. So that's a nice rich tan color that is just going to look really nice under the skin and make me have like a natural bronze. And to blend that out, I am using the C422 brush, the stippling brush from Crown, because I want this to be a little bit more soft and look a little bit more romantic as opposed to glamorous. That is why I decided to do it underneath the foundation today. Plus I wanted to show you guys what I've been doing for a natural contoured look, because I have done this routine a little bit in my just everyday life. Okay, we are all cream contoured up, so now I'm just going to go in with foundation. The foundation I'm going to be using today is the NARS All Day Luminous Weightless Foundation. And this is very liquidy and has a little bit of oil in it, so you have to be careful to really shake this up when you apply it. If you want something that's a little bit less expensive, you could definitely go for the e.l.f. Flawless Finish Foundation. That one has really great coverage and it also has a nice finish too. But I find that this is nice for a nice radiant look as opposed to looking a little bit too wet, and it is full coverage. I'm just applying that to a damp beauty blender generously, and that just immediately covered up all the blotchiness that I had on my face just now. And you can kind of still see that bronziness underneath, but it looks very natural and wearable. So just to conceal a little bit more and kind of brighten up the under eyes, I'm using the Maybelline Age Rewind, and this is the shade Light. I'm just taking my beauty blender again and blending that all out. And to quickly set that into place, I am taking this very small Real Techniques sponge that I just dampened. I got this from a Technique set for Christmas. I'm going to take that and a little bit of powder and just put that right in the triangle of my eye, not extending out here because we want to put highlighter there and make it look very radiant there. So I'm going to focus this right here. And even though this is a technique for baking, I'm not really baking, I'm just focusing on setting it. And then just taking the flat side, I'm going to take a little bit more powder and just kind of pounce that into my pores and also a little bit of my mouth creases. To kind of finish off the eyes, I'm actually not going to do any bottom eye makeup, but I am going to put a color in the waterline, and for that I'm using the Essence Kajal pencil in the shade White. And we're just putting that right on the waterline. And then for mascara, again I'm going to use the Voluminous Lash Paradise from L'Oreal, and this is waterproof. If you don't like waterproof mascaras, then definitely go for one of your favorites, but for this kind of look I want a little bit more volume to my bottom lashes since I'm not doing any bottom eye makeup, so I think that it's important to make sure that my lashes look a little bit more full. And I could really get that type of definition with a waterproof mascara. Plus, if you cry throughout the night, which I hope doesn't happen, you have a little bit of a protector. Okay, so since the eyes are pretty much done at this point, and the face, I'm just going to go in with a blush. I'm doing the e.l.f. Blush Quad, and I think I'm going to go in with these two colors, and I'm just going to take that on. This is a Crown SS013 Angle Blush Brush. I am going to press this on the apples of my cheeks and then kind of sweep it this way. Fluffy top is going to be at my cheek, and then the curved side is going to be heading towards the back of cheek. This is way more blush than I'm like used to, but because I'm not really going to be contouring or bronzing, I want to make sure that I have a little bit of a flush to my skin just to warm it up and make me look a little bit more flirty and romantic. I've been saying that like this entire tutorial. Okay, so just going to spray my face one more time with the primer water. So then last but not least is highlighter. I think I'm just going to be using Starburst from the Sugar Glow kit from Anastasia. And this is my Morphe M510. And then just going to take a little bit above my brow here, just barely noticeable. Then right down my nose, on the Cupid's bow, just to add a little bit of plumping to the lips. For the lips, I'm kind of going to do more of a muted down, nudie type of lip because I feel like it's going to wear off. The lipstick that I'm using is going to be like really light on me, so to kind of darken it up a little bit, I'm going to use the NYX lip liner in Nude Beige, and I'm kind of just focusing this on the defined points of my lip, such as the Cupid's bow and the bottom lip line, and softly just shading and filling in on those areas as well. Then for the lip color, I'm using the Maybelline Color Sensational lipstick in Blushing Beige 915. And then to add a little bit more glossiness and fullness to the lip, I am going in with the gloss. This is of course the Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb in Fenty Glow, and that is the finished look. I hope you guys liked this tutorial, and I hope you are going to be having a lovely Valentine's Day. If you did like this tutorial, please give me a thumbs up and comment some lovely things that you have experienced on any Valentine's Day throughout your life, or what you are excited to possibly one day experience for Valentine's Day, or some of your Valentine's Day plans for this year. Also subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and follow me on all of my social media accounts. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!